right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
Developing tonight, rescue crews called to a popular and dangerous swimming hole. The changes to make it safer.
A weather alert day tomorrow. I'm timing out the threat of isolated severe thunderstorms.
Car thieves caught on camera.
And they're out, they're quick.
The rash of thefts happening in a matter of minutes in one South County neighborhood, and the fear they'll strike again.
Who knows where they're at tonight, but I'm sure they're practicing the same thing somewhere else.
It is calm tonight in downtown St. Louis for the City SC game, but a Thursday threat of strong storms and heavy rain has us all in a weather alert tonight. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. A short-lived break from the storms today. However, the next round is not expected to be widespread. Meteorologist Jim Castillo is in for Scott tonight and joins us now with that Weather First forecast.
Yes, that's right. Temperatures right now 69. Clouds are beginning to move in, but it's dry. And what we're watching is the clouds increasing tonight, and notice the lightning strikes out in central Missouri and even now western Missouri. So this is the activity that eventually comes our way. It doesn't look like a widespread severe weather outbreak, but again, we'll see some spotty showers tonight and then that better risk of maybe some isolated strong storms tomorrow. The problem with this is we have a very saturated ground. And so any rain that we do get that's heavy will cause some issues flooding wise. But the big concerns tomorrow afternoon between 2 and about 8 p.m. Strong wind gusts to 60 miles an hour and maybe some hail. So the weather headlines, mainly dry overnight, but a spot shower can't be ruled out. Weather alert day tomorrow, and we're watching that radar really between 2 and 8 p.m. I'll have much more on the big warm-up for the weekend coming up.
And the Weather First team will keep you updated tomorrow on air on KSTK.com, the 5 on Your Side, and 5+. You can also text weather to 314-425-5355, and we'll send you the latest forecast right to your phone. Tonight, we're following a developing story out of Jefferson County. Just hours ago, High Ridge fire crews responded to Rockford Park to rescue a man who nearly drowned.
The man was rushed to the hospital. The popular swimming hole has been the site of numerous drownings. Laura Barcheski is live in High Ridge, and she just talked with the fire chief, Laura.
Mike and Kelly, the fire chief tells me this happened around 7 o'clock tonight, and he says the man was barely conscious when rescue crews got there. They're not really sure how the man got in the water at this point. Chief John Barton says a bystander actually pulled the man out of the rough waters of the Big River before first responders got there. Medics started treatment right away and rushed the man to the hospital. He says normally they don't receive water rescue calls until about June, so this is unusually early. Statistics show the river claims a life every other year on average, and last year they responded to about 10 calls at Rockford Park. Right now it's even more dangerous because of all the rain. There's a lot of extra debris in the water. The chief says the bystander definitely saved this victim's life because the current is so strong, but they don't recommend people do that because they can lose their lives too.
The river's definitely up and the current's moving a little bit more swiftly than normal because of all the rain that we've been having. So it's, we talk about this every year. This is not the environment to swim in, and it's especially worse now because of all the rain.
Now, the park was actually closed recently because of the high river levels, and they really don't want people to swim at Rockford Park. Boating, canoeing, all of that is fine, picnicking even, but they really do not want people swimming there, especially because the river's so high and the current is just so strong. Reporting live in Jefferson County, Laura Barcheski, 5 on Your Side.
New tonight, several crooks caught on Ring doorbell video stealing and breaking into cars in Crestwood. The string of crimes happened overnight at a neighborhood near Big Bend in Sappington. Robert Townsend tracked down some of the victims. Robert.
Kelly, Crestwood neighbors are frustrated and extremely concerned. Their cars were either stolen or rifled through while they slept.
It's crazy.
Blake Elsner says in the thick of the night, several guys, possibly teenagers, rode down his Crestwood street, hopped out of a black Cadillac Escalade, and went on a daring crime spree.
It's shocking because of how fast and how efficient and how many cars they can hit within 60 seconds.
Police say the young criminals first stole the Escalade from South St. Louis County around 1:30 Wednesday morning. More than 2 hours later, the culprits then stole 3 cars in the Crestwood area, 2 on Briarton Drive, a 3rd vehicle taken from nearby Lodge Drive. One of the stolen cars had a gun inside.
They're up and down a street a mile long in about 3 minutes.
Elsner's Ring doorbell camera caught the crooks on video stealing his Nissan Altima parked outside his home. It was full of expensive items.
2 car seats. I have a nice Nuna stroller. I had a camera.
Police believe the same 4 crooks broke into at least 6 cars and rummaged through the vehicles.
I don't believe anything was taken.
Elsner's next-door neighbor's Kia SUV was hit in his driveway.
People just have to be aware, make sure everything's locked. But more than that, just watch out for each other.
Police also say never leave valuables on your front seats. They say the stolen cars were unlocked. Officers found one of them not damaged near Shoto and Tucker in the city. Elsner hopes he could be so lucky.
Hey, at the end of the day, we're all healthy, and that's all that matters.
Tonight, police are still reviewing neighbors' Ring doorbell videos, collecting evidence, and looking for those 4 car crooks. Now, if you know anything about this crime, call the Crestwood Police Department.
Tonight, a Hazelwood man is behind bars. Police say he admitted to shooting a woman during a road rage incident in University City. This happened around 8:30 this morning during rush hour on Interstate 170 near Delmar. Octavian Carr was later arrested at a gas station in St. Louis City. According to court documents, he told investigators that he let his anger get the best of him. The woman was shot in the shoulder and required surgery.
In just a matter of weeks, St. Louis zoning officials are expected to decide whether to give the green light to marijuana dispensaries to operate past 8 p.m.
Some shops say they're losing business because of the early closing time. Brent Solomon is live downtown with what could happen next. Brent.
Hey, I tell you what, just look around me. You see folks come to downtown all the time for sporting events and even concerts. And I tell you what, when those events are over, those of them who may want to go to a marijuana dispensary like this one across the street, they can't. That's because they have to close at 8 o'clock. A local lawmaker wants to change that. It's no secret, sports is one of the big draws to downtown. On any given game night, huge crowds are coming into St. Louis, giving many businesses a boost. Except for this one.
It is a missed opportunity.
Luxury Leaf on South Vandeventer opened in 2022. Owners say business is good, although they often miss out on potential customers.
And then I have people who come in and say, I really wanted to consume, I wanted to buy it, I had to go to another dispensary because you were not open, because they're able to go through the county.
Let's bring in all the money off the weed.
Alderman Rasheen Aldridge has a proposal to allow St. Louis dispensaries to stay open until midnight.
We're in a revenue crunch, so this could be an opportunity for the city to bring in a lot of money.
Without taxing you, he says. Opponents have questioned whether extending pot shop hours could lead to crime.
They have strong security already as it is. As you enter, there's security there. Liquor stores are open to late at night. You can buy cigarettes late at night. Now that marijuana is legal, I think we need to get away from this notion that it's a boogeyman.
Luxury Leaf owners say longer hours would benefit customers who need marijuana for medical reasons.
If you go to Walgreens and you need to get a prescription filled, sometimes that doesn't fall within the normal hours of 8 to 5. Sometimes your medical needs don't happen during normal hours.
I reached out to the group Prevent Ed, and they tell me they want to make sure that the risk and increased availability of cannabis to minors is limited. A decision on this proposal could come in the next couple of months. We're live in St. Louis tonight. Brent Solomon, 5 on your side.
Tonight, the city of St. Louis released new plans to revamp Kings Highway and make it safer. The project would implement a variety of traffic calming measures, including curb bump outs to slow traffic and protect pedestrians in crosswalks, medians, and changes to lanes. The project is expected to cost several $1 million. Area residents say it's long overdue.
People love to go to the park and they love to walk the streets, but when you fear for your life crossing the street, I don't think I want to do that. I feel safer driving across the street in my car, which is really silly.
There's another public hearing next Thursday at the Wool Rec Center from 4 to 7. The goal is to start in 2025. Just hours ago, a historic standoff ended at the Missouri State Capitol. Democrats in the state Senate held the floor for more than 2 straight days.
The filibuster successfully blocked a Republican push to make it harder to change the state constitution. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, reports from Jefferson City.
Voter rights and abortion politics sent the Missouri Senate into a seizure. A record 50-hour filibuster threatened to shut the upper chamber down until a group of weary Republicans sidestepped the stalemate.
Unfortunately, this Republican Party has no backbone.
Furious members of the Freedom Caucus lashed out at Republican leadership Wednesday afternoon.
And they will have the blood of the innocent on their heads.
Tensions boiled over after a marathon relay.
And then I will hand it off to you.
As the historic filibuster entered its 3rd consecutive day, there was no end in sight.
Because she's going to have hours to talk about it.
Democrats teamed up in pairs for 3-hour shifts to demonstrate they were determined to dig in and drag on through Friday's deadline.
I mean, we've got the willpower, we've got the bodies and the motivation to do it.
Senate Democrats allowed a vote earlier in the year that would have asked voters the same question if they wanted to make it harder to change the Constitution, but this new version came with additional ideas.
What they're doing is trying to confuse and trick voters with deceptive language because they know that if they're able to see what this is on the face of it, it'll fail at the ballot.
We don't want non-citizens voting.
State law already requires photo ID to vote in Missouri, and federal law strictly bars non-citizens from voting. State Senator Bill Eigel claims the language in the Constitution is too vague.
It does not expressly prohibit other citizens from voting in our elections. It does not do that.
But in State Senator Steve Roberts' office,
there's no ambiguity.
He keeps a copy of the 1922 ballot that gave women the right to vote, but clearly said you must be an American citizen. So if that law is already on the books, then what's the harm in letting voters approve it again?
The trick might work.
Democrats fear it might confuse voters from the real aim to limit direct democracy.
If you could have a ballot measure in the future that has the majority of votes and still fails. And this is really coming from an attack on women's rights to choose.
Voters would still get the final say if and when the Senate can agree.
Don't get your hopes up.
Reporting in Jefferson City, Mark Maxwell, 5 on your side.
Balancing the books, the local library system looking to trim some branches. Things are about to get real with your ID, the deadline to get to the license office, and the documents you should bring.
Tomorrow's weather threat is not widespread. I'm tracking Thursday's storm threat and then a big weekend warm-up that will follow.